Hi Cancer, welcome to your January 2023 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So here we are, right? January of 2023. I cannot believe it. So with that said, as you can hear, I'm a little bit under the weather, so I apologize for any coughing and sputtering ahead of time. Also, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look at what's going on for your actions and options for the world at large. Ooh. Okay, you've got a jumper. And it is the Chariot card. So your card, remember the Chariot card is Cancer ruled. So this is all about you. The fact that you've got this here in your actions and options means that you are really straight out of the gate. You are in your zone, right? You're very clear on what it is that you want, where it is that you're going, and more importantly, you are holding to a goal or a mission that only potentially you can see. Now, what this does tell me is that this year, specifically here in January, you are going to be successful in whatever it is that you have set into your, like whatever you've got in your mind that you are going after, this month you will achieve it. Remember though, the Chariot card is a very fast energy. And we've got two planets currently retrograde. Mercury and Mars are both retrograde in the sky. Mars will go direct on the 12th of January. Mercury will go direct on, excuse me, Mercury will go direct on the 18th of January. I think it's the 19th actually. So in a sense, you are kind of swimming against the tide. So you just want to be mindful around that over the course of this month. What's really interesting to me as well is that the Chariot card has been very active for this month as well, which tells me that there's something happening either in the, something's likely to be happening with the travel industry in this first week of the month. I don't know what's going on around that, but there's definitely something. So it'll be interesting to see how that shows up. Now, that being said, in terms of your actions and interactions with the world at large, you come into this year very focused, all right? Like this month, you're really focused on what it is that you're trying to achieve. There's nothing or no one going to hold you back. Love it. Just remember, that in order to get anything done in the world, we need to work with other people at some point. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Four of Pentacles. So even though you're kind of charging ahead, you are keeping your cards sort of relatively close to your chest this month. That Four of Pentacles does suggest that you have a plan and you are not deviating from the plan. That ability to hold fast to something is actually what's going to get you through. I will say there's probably going to be some financial twists and turns to this whole month that you're probably not anticipating or that you don't see. The other thing with the Four of Pentacles, especially when it comes to communications, things could be a lot slower than you would prefer them to be. Again, remember, we're starting the year with two of the personal planets retrograde. So just keep that in mind. Unless you were born with those in your chart, this tends to be a time where things really are slowing down. And in a way, you've got this slow, steady communication with this steadfast action that is kind of driving you forward. So in that regard, I like this. It does feel to me though like you're maybe trying to pin things down this month when it comes to some of the details, and I'm not 100%. The Chariot card suggests that you will get whatever it is that you want. That Four of Pentacles does suggest that it will probably happen slower than you imagine, and you might have to really micromanage things. And when we micromanage anything, we tend to get a certain amount of pushback, so just be careful. For your heart and half, you've got the Ace of Pentacles. So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, the finances on the partner's end could be doing very well. This could be a new house, it could be a new job. For those of you that are single and looking, it's very likely to be through your work or your career sector that you are connecting with someone this month. Now, because it's the Ace of Pentacles, you might kind of say, you know what, this is practical, it's just fun, this is like an FWB situation, you know, like I'm not really looking for anything else. You might not be, but it may end up developing anyway. So this is something to be mindful of and open to, I guess. For your money and materials, you have your own card here, the Queen of Cups. I mean, I like this for nurturing a money move. I also like this for friends, family, or the connections that you have around you being the support that you need to make some financial goal or move happen, which could be really great. Another way that this could show up for you as well is people or things that you really have a genuine care or connection to this month could really help you further a financial goal in some regard. Let's see what your weeks of the month are saying over the course of January. So for your first week of the month, you've got the Temperance card with the Chariot. So one way that this could show up, some of you could be visiting what you perceive to be like a spiritual place. You could be going to a church, a synagogue, a mosque, a stone circle, whatever it might be. Like for a lot of you, you could be visiting some kind of place of spiritual power or concentrated, you know, spiritual energy. On a more sort of practical level, this suggests that the way that you achieve everything this month excuse me, it's not just through micromanaging things, it's about really marshalling your inner resources. So this first week of the month, you could be really getting clear on, okay, where is it previously that I've held myself back, and where is it now that I can do more to get myself ahead. Love this, really love this actually. For your second, another way that this could show up potentially is a trip to the hospital. Maybe not for you, but for a loved one. I hope I'm wrong on that front. For the second week, you've got the High Priestess, and you've got this with the Four of Pentacles. I said, didn't I? I feel like you're keeping your cards very close to your chest here in this second week. I mean, I feel like you're doing this all month, but whatever's happening in that second week of the month, you could, I mean, remember as well, right out of the gate, we've got a full moon in your sign. So I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. But your this coupled with the Four of Pentacles, this is a stash of money, a secret, like a secret stash of money that you didn't know was yours, or resources. Maybe somebody kind of says to you, listen, you know what, I want to do this for you, but I don't want you to tell anybody. Maybe you come across money, maybe you find money that had been hidden. You know when you hide money somewhere and you forget about it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I did with it, and then like 6 months later it turns up. This could be that kind of deal. Another way that this could show up though is a partnership, a connection, a collaboration could come up, but it's like it's not for public knowledge at this moment in time. Either which way, I like this. I will also say, when it comes to your religious and or spiritual beliefs, this second week of the month could be very potent, because it's providing a foundation for you to peg everything else on. There's a big realization on a very spiritual or deep internal level that happens in this first half of the month, I would say. For your third week of the month, you've got the Empress. Wow. Okay, so for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, that is baby making energy. There's a lot of fertility in these cards. You've got look at this, the Empress, you've got the High Priestess and the Empress. So something is being birthed here. This middle portion of the month, something is being gestated, something, you're becoming pregnant, whether this is, physically, tangibly, actively, or whether this is with an idea. The fertility or the fertile ground is absolutely there, and the right seeds are planted or sown at this time for you to walk through a very special door. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this can show up literally as a pregnancy. For others, it might literally just be where your partner's resources come good. Maybe they've been looking for work, they've been out of work, haven't been able to find it, and bang, not only do they land a job, but they land like a dream job with a great salary. I love this. I'm totally here for it. For those of you that are single, look, if you're going to be playing around at this time, more power to you. Enjoy your body, enjoy other people's bodies as well. Absolutely. Just be mindful that this is a very fertile energy. So you just want to keep that in mind. It could also be, I mean, I always say don't mix business with pleasure, but this looks like one of those few times where you might just get away with it and it might just be fucking brilliant. Excuse me, and that's as much as I will say. For the fourth week of the month, you've got the Tower card. So, all right. To get a little bit more serious, I'm really sorry to say, there's two things that I want to say to you, right? One, this is potentially a mother, a matriarch, or an important woman in your life that may spend some time in hospital. I'm not seeing a death here, so, you know, I'm just going to quash that before you get really worried or whatever. But I am seeing a potential hospitalization here. Another way that this could show up is something that you have been nurturing or nourishing to fruition or to completion could now start giving its results or its financial rewards or benefits. It could be that it could, you know, on the brightest end of the sort of scale, this could literally be maybe you're getting a, what's the word that I'm looking for? Maybe you're getting a windfall of some kind. You know, it's possible. It is, however, the Tower card. So there's something here that is kind of rumbling your foundations a little. And this is something you need to be mindful of. Now, the new moon on the 21st of January is in the sign of Aquarius. This for you is in your 8th house. Interestingly enough, that's inheritances. And with everything that's here, if there is money coming to you from an inheritance, it will be through a woman. Specifically through a woman, all right? I hope I'm wrong on that front. As I said, I'm not seeing a death here, but if someone has already passed, it could be that money makes its way to you through them. Remember, and you've got a new moon in the 8th house on the 21st. Maybe somebody has passed and you didn't even realize they'd left you anything in their will. It could be something like that. The 8th house is other people's money. Other people's money tends to be taxes, loans, debts, bills, bills that are due, things that we owe to other people. It can also show up as inheritance. So I wonder if this is something like that being set into motion for you. The other thing with the 8th house, it's a very powerful house, and it really tends to talk about our deep psychological makeup, and it tends to speak about our fears. What it is that we're really afraid of. Now, you've got the gate 17, 1 and 7 gives you 8, and it's opinions. I think this new moon on the 21st of Jan is going to highlight to you where you have maybe stopped yourself going after something for the fear that what somebody else is going to say, right? So let's say you've decided, I'm going to be a millionaire. And you're worried about kind of saying that because you don't want people to look at you and judge you and whatever. This could be a time where you kind of realize, you know what, as the meme says, lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. All right. So there's some big personal realization around that new moon that you, and again, whatever it is that's taking place, it's possibly that you're holding your cards very close to your chest. Then on the 6th of January, you've got a full moon in your sign. This is your ruling luminary in your own sign, right? Now, yes, the moon exalts in Taurus, but as far as I'm concerned, the moon in Cancer gets such a bad rap. And it's like for people that either don't have that placement or don't really understand it, I really wish they would say, okay, you know what, I don't understand it enough, but I'm not going to bag on it, I'm not going to rag on it, because it's actually a really potent placement, and it's a beautiful one if you know how to tap into it right. It's very psychic, it's very intuitive, it's very feeling. It can be a little bit intense, not going to lie, it is what it is, right? Now, remember, when I'm talking about the moons, I'm talking about your ascendant first, to a lesser degree the sun and the moon, but still relevant. And the fact that you're having a first house full moon means that you are very visible at this moment in time. You are more visible than you ever are, right? Not just because this is the full moon. I mean, obviously the sun in your sign is also a time of high visibility, but you get my point. This is your ruling luminary in your sign. She's full, she's at strength and power. That's the high priestess there. Right, and this is going to make you very psychic, very intuitive. It also probably quite emotional, but it's also going to give you a level of feeling and sensitivity that will show you what the path is. All right, so this stuff that's happening at the beginning of the month, that's giving you the direction. The stuff that's happening at the second half of the month is giving you the energy and the direction, is giving you the energy and the potency that you need to move forward in order to make those insights and that wisdom into something tangible. For this, you have the gate 33 and looking back. So the moon itself is very reflective. It's a very cyclic being. And this card actually talks about taking all of the gems of wisdom, all of the diamonds and the nuggets of goodness out of the past and using them here in the present so that you can create and build a much better and brighter future for yourself. It's actually a very beautiful card, and it's got a dragonfly on the front with, you know, like spider webs, but with like the morning dew. And so it's about really finding the beauty, the blessings and the gems in all that surrounds you and all that has been like prior to you. Now, what I find really interesting is you've got the number 33 on there as well. And the number 33 is about the purest or the highest potential of something. So that full moon that's happening in your sign, right in the beginning of the month on the 6th of January, that's going to illuminate to you from within and from the cosmos, or should I say from the cosmos within, it's going to illuminate to you what your highest potential is and what path you need to be taking in order to make those things a manifest reality. All right, so no pressure. With that said, my lunar brothers and sisters, yes, I'm a little biased because I was born with the moon in Cancer. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Happy damn New Year to you. I hope you know you have been given a new one and you can do whatever you choose with it. Take care, and I'll see you soon.